Hi everyone! So today is going to be a bit of a heart-to-heart conversation. I've been quite a dilemma lately about the way of eating, and I've been reading a lot, I've been thinking a lot, and I think it's time to make a few changes. So we've been on the paleo diet for almost a year now, and it taught us so much, just like any other diet has taught us so much. My husband lost so much weight as well, and my skin improved immensely, but at the same time, there were these other things that were not as satisfying. My skin also got drier than ever. My mood swings were just as bad. My energy levels were going up and down, and also my teeth were just not getting better. If you saw my 7 resolutions or my promises to myself for 2015, one of them was healing my teeth, and I just couldn't see any progress. So the thing is, no matter how hard I tried, my teeth were not getting better. And also I started noticing these white spots on my nails. I'll try to insert a picture here, and you know, for what I was researching online, it seemed like it was showing a lack of calcium, and with all that dairy and all that calcium I was eating, there's just no way I was lacking calcium. So I realized there must be something else. And then I started having other symptoms such as muscle twitches and cramps, and after researching all online, I realized that it was all because of magnesium deficiency. So I started taking magnesium, and a couple of days later I started feeling so much better. And that's when I started reading more and more and more about paleo diet and about eating in general, and I just realized that maybe, just maybe, I was hiding my head in the sand all the time, trying to hide from the signs that something was not quite right. You know, I don't think, in general in my life, I don't think that being fanatic is a good thing in anything. I think moderation is probably the best way to do things. And I'm the first one to admit that I've probably been mistaken. I've probably been a bit too fanatic about my way of eating, and I've probably restricted some of the foods too much, and that's why I had all these problems with mineral deficiencies and dry skin and so on. And I probably wouldn't have even noticed them for much longer, but when I went really strict on the paleo diet and I stopped eating nuts and seeds as well, and also limited fruit, that's when I really saw that I am lacking quite a few things, and perhaps it's time to rethink what I eat. So you probably already know that I've been reading quite a lot about Ayurveda lately, and you know, the Ayurvedic way of eating, and that's probably one of the other reasons that made me rethink everything. And you know, after reading about soaking grains and beans and fermenting them and sprouting them, I realized that all the reasons why the paleo diet doesn't allow eating grains and beans is the phytic acid. But the thing is, by soaking and sprouting them, you remove most of it anyway. And then another thing I don't understand about the paleo diet is why nuts and seeds are allowed, while they actually have the same amount of phytic acid as grains. You know, it just, some of the things just stop making sense to me. So what I decided to do is just to try and follow the food recommendations for my constitution in Ayurveda. And it's a long story, but there are 3 different constitutions in Ayurveda, and if you're wondering, mine is Pitta, which is basically fire. And I'll try to rebalance myself and see if that helps in any way. But Ayurveda is all about eating in moderation and balancing yourself out, not being fanatical. So let's see if it's going to make any difference. Of course, I'll take you on the journey with me, because my channel is all about learning and sharing things I learned with you. So I hope you will continue supporting me, and I hope you'll continue learning new things with me. And if you were following me just because I was on the paleo diet, I'm really sorry, but at the end of the day, it's about my health, so I need to do what's right for my body. But also, I wouldn't want to confuse you and tell you things that I don't actually believe in. So I thought it was very important for me to open up and to really share with you my thoughts. Another thing is that I was about to start filming you know, what I eat today, this type of videos, and sharing with you our daily life, but since I was in so much confusion reading about these different diets and trying to reintroduce grains and beans into our life, it kind of put my plans on hold because I couldn't film what we eat. Because I'm supposed to be on the paleo diet and obviously I wasn't, so it was very confusing for me, and I really needed to have this little talk with you and share all my thoughts with you. So I hope that you won't be disappointed. I know that a lot of you are vegans and vegetarians, or just people who eat everything, so I hope you will still find my videos useful. At the end of the day, I'm not just about food or a certain diet. My channel is about holistic living anyway, so that's what it's going to continue being. You know, natural beauty and natural eating without conforming to a certain diet. I'm somebody who doesn't like being in a group, you know, I don't like doing what other people are doing. So in a way, by being a part of a certain diet, I was in a way in a group. So I'm kind of happy to break free and to stop restricting myself so much, I guess. The only two things that I don't think I'll ever change my mind about are sugar, or, you know, especially refined white sugar, and refined flour or wheat flour. Those are the two things that I really think they're evil, and trust me, I'll probably never change my mind about them. Everything else is probably not that evil when it's eaten in moderation. So I guess that's what I wanted to share with you. I hope that you'll understand, and I hope you'll continue following me in my journey to perfect health. And thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for listening to me and my doubts and my new discoveries. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Bunny, 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 bunny.